Alrighty, welcome back everyone. We just talked about some of the incredible names across the 2025 recruiting cycle, some of the teams, including LSU, that have jumped out to an incredible start there. And now let's get into some Good Vibes Monday. If you have not tuned in for a Good Vibes Monday yet, it is all about just starting the week off right, starting the week off with something that gets everyone a little bit happy. And I've noticed that going back to the college football 25 game is never a bad strategy to make college football fans in a good mood to start the week. So that's what we're doing tonight. There were some very, very interesting updates that came through this past week and into last week a little bit about the future of this game, and some not so good, some very good. So let's start with the not so good to get that out of the way. As most of you know, I'm sure, Arch Manning has reportedly decided that he will not be in the game. He has opted out. I don't love the decision. I don't much understand the decision, but it's his decision to make, I suppose. So I'm not necessarily going to spend too much time on that. I know there are a lot of people, tearing him down. A lot of people have a lot of big opinions about Arch Manning, let's say that. But at the end of the day, his decision to make, not the decision I would have made, of course, but, not my decision to make. So another not so great piece of news is the NCAA awards look like they are not going to be in the game. This does not include the Heisman, which is in the game, which is great news, but the Joe Moore Award for the top O-line, Bolitnikoff for the top wide receiver, those type of Walter Camp, all of these awards, Doak Walker. So tons of awards that we all love, that we'd love to be in the game, are not in the game because they felt like the dollar value that was offered to them was not correct based on what they bring to the table. So I hope that is figured out by the time 2026 comes out, but we'll see. It'll be interesting. And as I understand it, guys like Manning or other people that might opt out and that might come out soon cannot be recreated in the game as they were in the past. It seems like they are going to bar you from doing that in some way, whether it's just not letting you put Manning on any jersey, I don't know. But it seems like that's not going to be able to happen, which is not ideal for the people that wanted all the rosters on there to be fully correct. But at the end of the day, it's one player, so game keeps moving. But now let's get into some good news, because there's a lot of really, really fun stuff that came out this past week, and it all came from Chris Fowler, it felt like. He is the guy that if you want instant updates on this game, I feel like you should be following him on Instagram immediately, because the dude gives us a lot. He gives us a lot of really, really fun nuggets, and it's part of the reason we love him. He gives a great peek behind the curtain whenever he can. So apparently he had 2 recording sessions last week, which must be just remarkably exhausting. I'm sitting here talking for an hour, and it is exhausting, and he's sitting there probably talking for about 4 to 6 hours and saying the same lines over and over, just with a new team inserted in. So I can't imagine how exhausting those are, but he said he recorded all of the playoff voiceovers, which is very exciting. He did the on-campus games, the quarterfinals, the semis, and obviously the national championship. He said getting to experience a national championship setup in March is incredible, and I gotta imagine this, being able to experience one of the biggest nights in the sport when the sport is not remotely going on has gotta feel pretty good. So I'm a little jealous of him for that, but he did say they would have specific national championship calls for all 134 teams. So he went through from Kansas State to Georgia. There were Kennesaw State to Georgia, a million different teams that he covered throughout this game, and apparently the national championship calls will be specified for all those teams. So pick whatever team you want, whatever small team you love, whether it's Troy, Tulane, it doesn't matter. You will have a specific national championship call, which is always a really, really cool thing. Apparently, if you pick Colorado and Dion, you will get a very interesting playoff call, one that might be a little bit more special, which I think makes a little bit of sense given how Colorado has been the talk of the town for the last little bit. So if that inclines you to pick the Buffs, then go right for it, because apparently that call is a little bit more special than the others, let's say. This game has pretty much everything. The detail in this game is going to be absolutely remarkable, it seems. And one of the other ways that they have proven that is Chris Fowler said he recorded one this week, or last week, I suppose, where if you win a game where your defense recovers a fumble in the end zone to win a game, that is in the game. So everything that you could possibly think of, even a scenario that happens very, very rarely and almost never is in the game. So you could have any number of things happen, and I'm sure that they have had some type of call with Chris Fowler doing that. So another great addition to this game, because that's what we want when we play these games. We want as much reality as possible, as much, real fun calls as possible and specific calls, because in past games, whether it's been NCAA or FIFA or any of these sports games, some of the calls at times have been a little bit bland. Let's be honest. There have been some guys kind of missing the mark a little bit over the years, but it seems like this one is going to be very high energy, and having Chris Fowler on the call is as good as it gets. He also said in his video, and it's been reported a number of different places, that over 10,000 players have already opted into the game. The original report said around 11,000 invitations, or a little bit more than that, were sent out to players. So a remarkable return rate for kids opting into this game, and I would expect nothing less. I think all of these kids, including are right around my age or a little bit younger, which sounds weird to say, but a lot of these kids are just reliving their childhood, and being in this game is an absolute dream come true. So totally makes sense that all of these guys are jumping at the bit and really, really want to be a part of this game. That would be around $6 million that has been sent out by EA to all these kids, about 600 apiece, what was originally reported. So quite a big chunk of change to be sending out to these athletes. But if that's what needs to happen to have this this game be as good as possible and kind of bring back all the feels for the kids my age, I'm all for it. So another piece of good news that could be very interesting here in the next little bit is there seems to be another window to opt into the game. So guys like Arch Manning, and it doesn't seem like any other athlete has been at least forward or open about their plans to not participate, but only 10 or a little bit over 10,000 have accepted, 11,000 were sent out. So there's still a number of guys that are waiting for whatever to happen. So it'll be interesting to see if any of those guys jump in the second iteration. Hopefully Arch Manning changes his mind and jumps in, but we'll see. There's still a ton to figure out about this game, and I think everyone wants this game to come as quickly as possible, but it seems like it's taking time for a good reason. It seems like all of the stuff is being put in order. They're getting their ducks in a row, and they're making sure that all of the fans that buy this game, none of them are disappointed in the detail, in the atmospheres, in the calls, and all of the stuff that we love about this game. Especially, incredible Chris Fowler call is unlike anything else in this sport. So having all of that stuff in the game, having so much detail in the game, whether it's having NIL in the game, transfer portal, being able to customize your own conferences, which I will definitely be playing around with once I get on there, because I don't love the conference situation we got going on. But that's, again, a conversation for another day. But I think this is it's going to be an incredible game. I really do feel that way. I really hope it comes out on time, because I'm going to get impatient very quickly as summer starts to approach. But it's an incredible way for me and so many others, I'm sure a lot of you watching this, to kind of relive really, really great parts in our childhoods. It was something that I did with my friends on hours on end, whether it was Dynasty mode or Road to Glory was where I spent a lot of my time creating some weird players, like Ezekiel Chubb-Net and, Ezekiel Elliott, Nick Chubb, and Leonard Fournette, little amalgamation of those three players. It was just incredible times with all of your buddies around a screen, taking turns playing different games. So It's something that I'm really, really looking forward to. It's something that when it comes out, I will not be locked in on anything as locked in as I will be on my dynasty mode and getting my players to the championship no matter what school I pick. So I'm extremely excited. I think it's very possible that in the future, when this game does come out, I might just start a weekly segment updating you guys on my dynasty teams and my road to glory players because man, it's fun. And I cannot wait to get back on the sticks and get back into that game because it's my favorite game of all time. Playing 2014 when I was a kid was as much fun as I've ever had. I had every game from I think 2008 to 2014, and we played them nonstop, me and my siblings. So incredibly happy to get this game back. We will figure out what the logistics are if I'm going to do a little dynasty mode. Maybe y'all can drop some ideas for teams that I can take to the national title, hopefully, in the comments. But so excited for this game. Could not be more excited for a video game. I'm not necessarily the biggest gamer in the world, but this is one that I will absolutely pre-order. I will be waiting for it to come out, and when it finally comes out, I will be essentially off the planet for about 12 hours because I will be so locked in. So whoever needs to get in contact with me, get in contact with me a couple of days after this game comes out. But for now, we have to wait. For now, we're going to wait a little bit longer, and hopefully some more details come out to get us even more and more excited and hold off that need for the game as long as possible because it's just going to be incredible when it comes. And I cannot wait any longer, but we got to. So that will do it for this edition of the GSMC College Football Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Thank you so much for tuning in. Your support means a ton to us, so please remember to leave a positive review. It makes a huge difference for us here at the network. Also, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or X, TikTok, Instagram for all the content and updates. We have incredible people doing incredible work here that cover every single sport you could think of, all the way down to wrestling. So anything that you could want is on our channel, so definitely give us a follow. GSMC Sports on YouTube, so incredible content coming out every single day. Definitely check us out. But thank you once again for listening, and I will see you guys tomorrow.